Hi everybody, Andrew Cuneo here. I'm going to be playing Tainted Pact in this historic qualifier weekend, day 1. I'm going to play the same list as what I played in my previous video where I made it through one of the play-ins, with the exception that I swapped the blue-red pathway for a blue-white pathway, just for the, once in 1,000 games where I'm going to cast Path of Peril with the white part. Alright, starting out, winning the die roll. Nice. No companion. I'm really expecting about half my opponents to have Luris as their companion. Let's find out what their plan. This is presumably like a Jeskai control deck. I guess I'm going to take Lorien Revealed. Good job, Thoughtseize. You're doing great work. Gonna get Rusko into play so I can get this clock started charging up. Then probably next turn I'll play Jace, Mysterious Wielder. Presumably, if my opponent doesn't have a land, they could safely concede, I think, at this point. They're discarding the hand size again. They may be playing just because they want to figure out what my deck is exactly, which the Mysterious Wielder is going to give that away.
We'll make this look easy. How you play
I think, given the cards I've played, they could easily conclude that I'm playing Tainted Pact, even without seeing the Jace. You're going to put up a fight? It's not a fight that I think they're going to win.
this coming
Guess I'm just going to sit on 3 steps ahead. There's not a huge value in casting Lorien Revealed to draw 3 when I've got this Midnight Clock that's going to go off in a couple turns anyway. Probably wouldn't be doing this if I didn't have the Midnight Clock in play. I also could have snapped Thoughtseized them, but if they hadn't drawn a land that turn, they were probably going to discard the hand size or maybe just play Lotus Field. Also, by leaving all my mana up, I have options to cast 3 steps ahead with more modes. I think I don't really want to use my Mazemind Tome aggressively, because I think most of the cards are going to just go away to the Midnight Clock.
think this
Probably be tapping the clock. close to the point where I could just kill them with Hollow Stone Giants. I think I don't really want to tap all my mana to lock him for 7 there.
Well played.
So they don't have enough Energons to take out the Jace. This should do it. It really matters what order I do this in or how I do it. I do have the ability to activate Mazemind Tome in response to the Jace Plus. So even if they had a Galvanic Discharge and enough energy to kill Jace, it wouldn't matter. I guess if they had 3 energy, it would make sense to plus the Jace in response to Tainted Pact. So the Jace would be at 7 loyalty while all of this is happening instead of 6. So they have Strict Proctor in their deck, which makes me maybe want to board a little bit differently than I usually do against control. But I think I want... Those are all the obvious cards. And then Noxious Grasp can hit Strict Proctor and Teferi. I don't want to go crazy about trying to kill Strict Proctor, obviously. Soul Guide Lantern's also probably pretty good. They had a lot of memory deluges. I don't know if I want the One Ring. It's 4 mana sorcery speed. Let's take out the cards I definitely don't want. Toxic Deluge, Path of Peril. Listening Deluge, go for the Throat. I don't think I really want Cut Down. If I want, I might want Stern Scolding is against the Strict Proctor. I don't think I care enough about killing it to leave Cut Down in my deck. And Bloodchief's Thirst it's just worse than Noxious Grasp. So we can take that one out as well. Maybe I'm going to leave Stern Scolding in my deck. So what else do I have that I really don't want? I think not a lot. So I think that I'm going to take out Sleight of Hand. Maybe I don't want Fatal Push. I guess I didn't put Noxious Grasp in my deck. Noxious Grasp is definitely better than Fatal Push. I guess I can't kill Hollow Storm Giants, which they might have. They also might not even have that in a 3-color deck. I think I'm going to take out Censor on the draw. Maybe if we go to game 3, I'll swap Censor with Stern Scolding. They probably don't have Snapcaster Mage in their deck, given that they have Stern Proctor, Strict Proctor. I don't remember which one is which. I'll keep swinging him. Probably going to just play Psychic Frog rather than trying to leave mana up for, or tried to get to 3 blue immediately for Archmage's Charm. Interesting that they have Arena of Glory in their deck. I guess that works with Flage. That's the idea. Yeah, this could be a rough game. So if they block, I would be pitching Snapcaster and Narset probably. I didn't want to just jam Narset there. I have access to 3 steps ahead and Sauron's Ransom. Also, the Narset's just not going to live because the Strict Proctor would kill it over the course of probably 2 turns. What are we doing here? Is it possible they're trying to cast a creature that's not Flage? I don't understand. It is Flage. I really don't care about this. Oh, I was supposed to care about this. Because of the Strict Proctor. Okay, I blew it. Wow, I really blew it. What can I do? I guess I'm gonna save this thing. much easier would this game have been if I just played 3 steps ahead on the Flage? It might not. I still might not have won. But certainly would have gone better for me. Alright, let's cut Stern Scolding for Censor like I said I would. That's not a very good hand. Nor is that one. I wish I had more cards. I'm having a bunch of energy is pretty annoying. It means that Galvanic Discharge is going to be hard to beat. Wonder if they just have the tune the narratives for Galvanic Discharge. What other ways are they going to have to spend energy? Maybe they have Unstable Amulet? Doesn't speak to him, that's nice.
No one is to hone your prowess. Miss your company.
I think I'm going to hold the Lorien Revealed, and if I draw an untapped land, just cast it. I did not draw an untapped land. So I will instead make a land drop. Oh, I guess this is another card that works with Strict Proctor. That's kind of cool. Although it also sort of... Oh, no, this is a cast trigger. Yeah, this works well with Strict Proctor. It's kind of interesting. I wonder if they have Ephemerate in their deck. I think I'm going to let this happen and just hope they don't have Dovin's Veto. If they have Dovin's Veto in their hand, I'm almost definitely going to lose. I can beat Galvanic Discharge because of Flusterstorm, though. Come on, another Tainted Pact. Cameo, that's not a very good draw. They have so much mana. I wonder why they shocked in and didn't play Flage. Oh. There's the Tainted Pact. Might actually be what I need to win. Counter target triggered ability or colorless spell. Oh, maybe I should have taken that. I mean, that works against the Snapcaster, which is pretty annoying. Yeah, I think I needed to take that. I was thinking the Galvanic Discharge was going to be hard to beat, but I guess I could have planned to beat that with Negate. I think I screwed up. I was hoping they were going to tap all their mana. Maybe they'll use the Consign to put this Lotus. Field into play. So all non-creature, non-land cards. Well, I was never going to beat that. Any of my cards do anything? Not really. I think I accidentally targeted one of my own Flusterstorm copies. Could I? So if my top card is Soul Guide Lantern, I might win.
No! I'm late for class!
That Thought Distortion was brutal. That and the Mull to 5 and playing bad in game 2. All things that were bad for me. Yeah, we're done here. Not a great hand, but I think it's good enough to beat. Another person with no companion. Could have gone for a non-land there. I think I'm playing against maybe the same deck. I'm not going to keep going for the throat against Rogren Triome. A little bit tempting to leave up Stern Scolding against a Proctor, potentially. Let's see if I regret it. I don't regret it.
I have reached my limit.
I think I'm going to keep the Fabled Passage to potentially trigger Fatal Push for a turn or two. What? Why is their deck like this? Did mess up. I definitely should have cracked the Fabled Passage before I started doing this. Probably not going to matter. But there's really no reason not to have done it. Certainly, this is either going to work and I'm going to win, or it's going to not work and I'm going to lose. And the Fatal Push is going to be irrelevant. It's maybe a remote possibility that one of the cards in the bottom part of my deck, like not the last card, but the second to last or third to last, would be something I could actually cast if I had one more mana when I go for this Jace. No, it wasn't going to matter. Did get that the pathway though.
This is all.
Magnetic Discharge doesn't do it. Alright, so this is maybe not a Proctor deck. This is maybe something else. Leave anything in my deck that I really don't want? I don't think so. I'm pretty happy with all these cards. The Lantern is the only question mark. I didn't see any reasons I would want it. Certainly wouldn't be surprising if they had Snapcaster in their deck. This is going to be played as a land, the Inundated Archive. Opponent on them all to 5. It's a rough way to start. Maybe messed up playing this land on turn 1. Otawara part of your deck. Okay. It's a good thing they didn't have Flage. Proctor gets me. I'm going to get some beatdowns going on, though, with Rusko. It's going to be all Rusko beatdowns from here on out. That's a pretty good draw.
Love puzzle.
Is something bad going to happen to me? I don't think so. Let's find out. Stifle's not going to do it. Oh, actually it might. I already passed the Tainted Pact. I think I'm going to stop at Tainted Pact, probably. So obviously if they have nothing and I go all the way to the end of my deck, I win, but I don't have to do that. Pretty far ahead as it stands right now. So I think I'm just going to do that.
No one likes a bully. It's a matter of give and take.
This is not a very good user interface. does not appear to be enough lands. This is better. Yes, I'm gonna bottom Spell Snare, which pains me. But on the play, Censor is functionally the same card as Spell Snare a lot of the time. And Censor's never going to get trapped in my hand. Am I playing against the same deck again? It's kind of crazy. Seems like it. That was no fun. Probably can't win. Not keeping that Spell Snare was not good. Maybe if the top card had literally been Tainted Pact, I could have won. Alright, so I'm beginning to understand how I should be sideboarding, I think. And I think I want Stern Scolding in my deck. Because these decks that I'm playing against seem like if they don't have Proctor in play, they're pretty bad. Probably don't want Rusko in my deck against the Proctor decks. Tamiyo is also kind of mopey. It's probably better than Proctor, though. Also, it's good to have some 1-mana cards so they can't just Fragment Reality me for free. I guess they can Fragment Reality the Tamiyo for free. Not that I really cared that much about any of those. A little bit too much black mana. Ow. I'm just going to take an untapped blue land. Well, I'm glad they conceded. I wasn't actually about to win. No. Need more lands. That's a good hand. Gross. I might need to impulse and just hope to hit Thoughtseize. Because I don't think I'm beating the Null Drifter. Just that helps against the Null Drifter. Because it's something that's sacked to Annihilator, so I don't get landlocked immediately. Oh, I definitely should have cast Sleight of Hand. What am I doing? Okay, they didn't cast the Null Drifter. I'll take it. Oh man, I didn't even think about the fact that I'm playing with Fabled Passage and Prismatic Vista against somebody that has a bunch of Stifles and Consigns in their deck. So screwed this game. I like the fact that they played as crazy safe as they have. Like, it's given me a tiny chance. For the stifle effect. No. Nice. Okay. Got a Dovin's Veto out of their hand. That's pretty nice.
Present and future. Keep an open mind.
So to get back Flage. 11. They don't quite kill me. Obviously, I'm in not as bad of a spot as you can be. Although it's a miracle this game's gotten to this point. Obviously, I could have clung to Dust the Flage, but I'm just going to die to the Null Drifter almost as quickly. So I think it's better to just play the Cling to Dust to get a card. Hope to kill them on my turn. Which is probably going to be pretty hard to do. But I'm going to try. Auspicious start. What are they doing to me? That'll do it. Actually, it doesn't do it. Almost does it.
If you show remorse, hold that thought.
That does do it. Finally, a Luris deck. But not the Luris deck I was expecting. Nothing is going according to plan. This is probably just a red-white deck that's splashing black for Shambling Ghast to be good in the mirror. It seems like everybody showed up with decks that are intended to be really good against the red-white deck. I'm sure that's why my first three opponents were all playing strict Proctor decks. I know I could have Spell Snared that, but I'm just going to take some damage and Toxic Deluge. Probably not even this turn. Just play to get to a point where I could Toxic Deluge and have Spell Snare up. Obviously the Narset's going to die, but I get a card and I save 3 damage. This is about as good as I can hope for.
I will prove my worth to my pride.
Things are looking pretty good. I mean, Catching an unlucky witness isn't that exciting. Catching a Johnny is pretty exciting. Guess also, this is going to be an expensive
Mighty warrior. I can see.
Toxic Deluge. It's better to play Path of Peril because Toxic Deluge can kill Luris, whereas Path of Peril cannot. Just get the swamp out of my deck. Well, I am losing a fair amount of life here. I certainly have life to spare. Goblin Bombardment's a pretty annoying card for them to have access to. I'm going to Spell Snare that. Creature or artifact. Ooh, the treasures. Yep. And starting to come together. That was not what I was hoping for. On your bingo card you had, I draw 3 lands off the top. Not what I was hoping for. But it did get me closer to what I was hoping for.
Are they yours or mine? Let's try this.
I think I'm going to sideboard the same way. I was planning to sideboard against white-red, which is to board those 3 in and to cut Sleight of Hand, Censor, and Narset. As we saw in that last game, Narset is not really able to survive. I guess, well, I would have rather had one more spell in my hand, I think, if I was going to get Thoughtseize. But me getting, them taking my Thoughtseize with their Thoughtseize really isn't that bad. Saves me 2 life. So I'm going to cut this down, and my Consider's going to become a Juggernaut. So I don't really want to keep a land off the Consider, so it doesn't make a ton of sense to cast it. guess they have the option of not doing that even. It's not very lucky. Come on, play a second thing that Cry of the Carnarium is going to obliterate.
Where shall we hunt today?
I like this. I hope the Juggernaut kills him. I'm definitely playing it next turn. If they don't do something I have to Inquisition, which that is something I feel like I have to Inquisition. Right of Oblivion, not a good card against my deck. And it might wind up working out that it kills the...
What a beautiful day, brother.
I'm going to cast the Opt first. I was going to say, it might wind up working out that it kills the Juggernaut, but it's really not a very good card here. It's not even worth playing the Juggernaut at this point, sadly, because it's just going to give them something to Rite of Oblivion. I'll just discard it to 3 steps ahead, which I'll probably play this turn. This is non-land, right? So it's looking like I'm going to get to the point where I'm going to be blocking with Restless Reed, potentially, or at least representing that I want to. I will not just play Jace into them having Rite of Oblivion. Just be happy to hang back and utilize my what's it called, Castle Mattress. Nope. I'm going to give them a scolding. Does this thing work? It used to do, I guess it used to be, it makes the things cost 2 less. They had to nerf it because somehow it was too good in alchemy.
Strike as one.
Wait, is this going to have to be sacrificed? Wait, didn't let it transform.
You won't stand with me. Share in my vengeance.
Yeah. That wasn't that bad for me. That's real bad for me. Killing both the creatures in response to the nightmare wouldn't have done anything because I'd get another creature off the trap finder. I guess if they didn't have any more creatures left in their deck, it might have done something.
Nothing is more important than family. To the hunt!
Basically hoping to draw a sweeper. Or Tainted Pact, obviously. Or Takenuma. That'd be a great one to draw. Perhaps not so much.
I'm always a step ahead.
Just gonna let them waste their time on killing it. Then I'll Takenuma back a Jace, and I'll get to try again next turn. They could Rite of Oblivion it, but I think my other Jace is in my graveyard right now. It is. There's a Juggernaut in my graveyard. I could get that one back. Oh, I'm just dead, though. That's the problem. It's a nightmare away a cat getting something back. But they don't have a red thing in play, so actually I'm not dead because the... Johnny. it's a red thing, but I die to the... Now they sack the servo to get back at Johnny, and then play this again. And they sack a cat to get back something else, and then I die to the Johnny activation.
Nothing can break our bond.
That's what works.
Tooth and claw, I will have vengeance! More join our cause!
Do I want Lantern in my deck? Just against the nightmares? And if so, what would it be over? I don't think so. I think I have to be willing to lose sometimes when the game goes super long like that. It was pretty unlucky that I hadn't won by that point, I think. Care about Inquisitioning this turn? I don't think I do. Maybe it would have been better to even hold that. Johnny and an army. Bombardments. Glad I didn't counter on bombardment. Just getting rid of Oblivion. Wow.
It's not perfect, but we have peace.
Just gonna play this before I take too much damage. And I also have the Glistening Deluge. I certainly, with them having bombardment, I just don't have enough life to set up like 2 really good sweepers. It's pretty annoying that they drew that turn. I think I probably need to Wonder if they're going to Rite of Oblivion the Goblin Bombardment away to hit Snapcaster. I think they can do that. It's any non-land permanent they can sell. I'm going to keep that just to cast it. They're gonna. Oh, I was gonna say they're gonna ping the Snapcaster with the token, so I might as well save a point of damage. I don't think there's any way I was getting around that either way. Spell Snare's not the worst here. There are way scarier things than the Spell Snare, like Nightmare. He's not on another one. I think I'm fine with that. Not fine with that. Maybe supposed to do that in response. Didn't realize Stern Scolding was still in the deck. Ooh, they tried to trick me. Nice. Juggernaut doesn't do anything again because they can just Rite of Oblivion it with a spare. What's it called? Goblin Bombardment. Still don't have a creature land. Sack their treasure to deal 1 extra damage to me, but they did not. Maybe they have plans for it. Maybe they have another Rite of Oblivion in their hand. The Rite of Oblivion has been bizarrely relevant given the construction of my deck. Might be getting to the point where I want to start upkeep Castle Vantressing. Certainly not there because I want both of those cards. So I'm going to get rid of that Rite of Oblivion with my Hive of the Eye Tyrant. It must die. Oh, I ordered those wrong. It's actually a pretty big mistake. So I could be playing. Creature land. This turn as well. Yeah, that was really bad. Oh, they had another Rite of Oblivion all along. Guess that's why they didn't sack the treasure. This is not played out how I expected it to at all. I really did not think I was going to win by using Hive of the Eye Tyrant to exile Rite of Oblivions. And maybe the Rite of Oblivions don't even matter, and I was just going to kill them with the creatures all along, or the creature lands all along. Some minor. That's kind of a cool combo. Pretty good hand. I think I'm going to just play Castle Lochthwain. Maybe get a little bit more information about what my opponent's deck is before casting the Sleight of Hand. Okay. Not that surprising. It's this Jeskai deck again. Come on, Inquisition of Kozilek. There's the Inquisition of Kozilek I wanted. I'm still gonna fire. I'm gonna fire it off this turn because their deck is so reliant on strict proctor that I definitely want to hit it if I can. I did not hit it. I whiffed. Sort of. That wasn't a very good draw. Ow. I don't think Thoughtseize is looking all that great. Let's see if we can get something better. Cling is definitely better. Alright, so now I don't actually have the win because of the Galvanic Discharge. You need to be able to win through a Galvanic Discharge. Which is certainly doable. Yep, Inquisition and Thoughtseize down there. Okay, I'll be able to win through this. Oh, they didn't even have a land. I was gonna Tainted Pact to get like Consider, and then snap Tainted Pact to get rid of my deck, so I could beat Galvanic Discharge plus 1 mana. But given that they didn't even hit their land drop, I don't need to do that. I wonder where this Jeskai deck came from. I'm really out of the loop when it comes to constructed on Arena. Seems like somebody must have wrote an article or put out a video about it. I think had I known that it existed when I entered this tournament, I probably would have played a few different sideboard cards. But I still like my deck. Mysterious welding going on.
I've got them all figured out. This will come in handy.
Tamiyo is the one card that has not impressed me in these matchups. Wonder if I just shouldn't even be bringing it in. I could believe that. It's really only good if I have it on the first turn. I think I'll keep this. It's a bit of a gamble, but having Stern Scolding is pretty nice. So it means that I'm shutting off their best draws that involve a gamble to play Proctor. I think I'm gonna gamble. I'm finding an island here. I gambled and lost. It's pretty bad for me. It's not game ending, but it's not good. these lands coming. Excellent. That could have been a Tameo if I had Tameo in my deck. So annoying that people are playing with Stifle and whatever that the replicate Stifle is called. It just means you have to play so much more carefully with things in a way that's kind of annoying, I think. I think I'll just play with maximum mana. If this gets invert polarity'd, is it bad for me? If I'd known they had Ether Spike in their deck, I would have played differently.
I've learned much during my travels. Guards, to me!
I have one draw step. I think it would have worked.
Already lost. You just don't know it.
Games where they don't have strict proctor are a lot easier. This is Luris deck. That is mulled to 6. And cast a Soul Warden that really doesn't do anything. Even though I'm probably going to Glistening Deluge on turn 3, I'm just going to turn 1 Inquisition them. It protects me from nut draws where they somehow flip a Johnny, or I guess they potentially could have gotten a Voice of the Blessed big enough that would have been a problem for me. I assume they're going to flash in Felia and attack and blink out the Soul Warden. And then they're going to be sad about this Glistening Deluge. Oh, they're going to blink out the Ocelot's Pride. Which I think is actually worse, because now that, don't they not get a token? I guess they deal 1 more damage to me. Glad I chose Glistening Deluge for my main deck sweeper like this rather than Cry of the Carnarium. If they get back the Luris in their hand, I'm going to snap Inquisition them.
Manipulation of the mind.
Backup Jace. We've got backups. They can use their Energons to pick off Jace. Assuming that's going to get Galvanic discharged. That's fine. Deluge again. Now let's see what Jace mills first. I don't want to let my life total get too low. Just because they do have the 2 amulets. So I don't want to get pinged out in the game. I'm very easily winning. I decided to go for killing their 2 creatures like that rather than the Snap Deluge, just because if I start milling myself and I hit Tainted Pact, I can snap Tainted Pact.
Now we've got a fight on our hands.
Guess that's a good play. Fight on. I guess with me having Cling to Dust and having the Midnight Clock, they're really not gonna win on any angle. So this is the sideboarding that I prepared for this specific matchup. 3 black removal in, Censor, Narset, and Sleight of Hand out. Let's get him a Spell Snare. again. And I had the bad turn one play. Like all these things. Guess I would drown in the Loch and Ocelot. It's pride. I'm not going to just blast Soul Warden out of the sky. Or out of the ground. I don't know. Wherever the Soul Warden is, I'm not going to blast it with this Drown in the Loch. Maybe if they put an aura on it. That's unfortunate. Come on, untap black mana.
Strike as one.
Now I am in some amount of danger because they can just kill their own creature. It's pretty bad for me. That's also pretty bad for me. Man, this Drowned in the Loch was so close to being good. I think this is still a 2-mana spell when it's on the stack. I'm not sure. I'm going to try to find out, though. Nope. How am I supposed to get out of this one? I think the answer is I'm not. Path of Peril doesn't work. I guess if I find Toxic Deluge. Tap land was... This was a brutal game for a tap land. Could steal that, but I don't think that does enough. I think we're draw 2 cards mode. Come on, Toxic Deluge. Alright, now if I draw an untapped land, I can just Tainted Pact for Toxic Deluge. This obviously is not guaranteed to work, depending on the location of the Jaces in my deck. This could lead to me losing, but it is not so far. Do they have a way to kill their cat? With Mana Tide. Alright, good beats. Hopefully they don't draw enough lands in a row that the Rusko is fun to resolve. Oh, this is going bad. Change plans. Rusko's not it. I took the wrong card when I positioned them. Maybe I did. I messed up by not playing Shielded Edict. I don't know, this really went bad fast. I guess mostly it was just that they hit that Voice of the Blessed off the Amped Raptor. That was just unfortunate. You know what wasn't unfortunate? Not Path of Peril. Path of Peril. Path with Peril. Path with these raptors. This is tricky. Because I didn't take the Mana Tithe. I can't just Tainted Pact to, like, try to get a 6th land from the bottom of my deck, which wouldn't be guaranteed to work anyway. I don't understand. They just killed themselves. Like, they had to take one of these two. If they take one of those two, I'm screwed. And I'm not completely dead. I would have to do like a... I was thinking they were going to take one of those two. I was going to flash in Snapcaster and then just cast Shielded Edict to try to, like, just burn the Mana Tithe. And I was going to chump an Amped Raptor so they couldn't flip the Light Shield Array that turn. This was a wild game. I mean, I got so lucky to draw the Path of Peril, and I still probably should have lost. I think that this pack deck is a very hard deck to both play and play against, so I can understand people making mistakes. It's not like it's a super popular deck that this person's probably played against a lot. It's possible they don't even understand that like I have a guaranteed kill with just being able to resolve these 2 cards. I mean, you would think that they don't understand that because they would have taken one of those if they did. Or maybe they were just hoping that my Fabled Passage couldn't find a land, which that would be a pretty big deck construction blunder to not even have any swamps in your deck. Been playing with Fabled Passage. Crazy. Another Luris deck. Captivating Crossroads cannot be played as an untapped blue source on turn 3 for Archmage's Charm, sadly. Have made that. I guess I should have played tapped. What was I thinking? Yeah, what I was thinking was I want to be able to cast it with the throat and mana efficiency, but obviously they're not going to play anything that I can't fatal push on turn 2. I love this guy, the Impetuous Loot Hunter. I think it's really good. My mana efficiency has worked out to some extent. At least I don't have more Johnnies. We do have more Johnnies. Unfortunate.
Nothing can break our bond.
Could have stolen their cat. I don't know if that's a particularly good play, though. Just makes whatever removal spells they have in their deck turned on. Alright, I don't think I need to play this untapped. I think this is just going to be a double Tainted Pact. Hope that it kills them. Which, it'll kill them through probably everything except for double Galvanic Discharge, which they certainly... Galvanic Discharge is a card they're pretty likely to have in their hand right here. Maybe don't have to go for it. I think I'm going to go for it now, though. They need... I guess they only need single Galvanic Discharge because of the bombardment. The other choice is I could have 3 steps aheaded the bombardment. The only problem with that is if they have like a second bombardment in their hand, I've wasted a whole turn cycle. So I lose to Galvanic Discharge because they can just discharge the Jace and throw both of their creatures at it with bombardment. I can get around that if in the bottom part of my deck there's either a Thoughtseize or a card like Consider in the bottom 2 or 3 cards. It's a little bit hard to explain. Like, the Thoughtseize can be in a slightly different location than the Consider, and also I've passed Thoughtseize and Inquisition. So I'm really hoping for just Consider, Opt, Cling to Dust. Oh, there's an Opt, so I'm going to win. Don't want you. Don't want you. Have to take you. And I have enough blue, so that this works. I could have known that was going to work if I'd remembered I'd scribed the Opt to the bottom.
We can figure a way out of this. Let's try this.
So if they had had Galvanic Discharge, they would have discharged the Jace in response, and then I would have just opted in response. If they had had double discharge, I would have lost. I know the draw is... Well, I guess I have Pact Jace, so I shouldn't complain. It is on the slower side. With like nothing I really want to play before turn 3. Mana's also a little bit awkward.
What a beautiful day, brother.
I'm fetching a swamp and playing Deluge and just hoping that it works. Alternately, I could fetch an island and just plan to steal the Guide of Souls. I'm going to see what they do with their turn. Alright. We're more invested in the Deluge plan now. Oh, they threw away a loot monger? It's disrespectful to the loot monger. So obviously, if this was like a super high stakes tournament, I would take the time to figure out what card they just took from me, but in the middle of a video, it's not happening. Am I dead? Dead if they have a creature. Oh, and the Deluge doesn't kill the loot monger either. I'm really dead. don't need to play Inquisition turn 1. I can play Bloodchief's Thirst plus Stern Scolding, and then Inquisition turn 3. No, it gets a little bit awkward if I don't draw a land. That I think is fine to resolve. That I think I'm actually going to counter. It's going to change the equation. Or if they play something really bad, I might just Sheoldred's Edict in response. If they do absolutely nothing, I will just play Opt. Lootmonger. Let's change that equation. Obviously I need a land, but I need other things as well. So we're going to dig for the other things as well. Lootmonger down there. Like I'm in trouble if they don't just play that Luris, but in a lot less trouble now. They do have the Den of the Bugbear, but I have Sheoldred's Edict. More bugbears? No. Just let that land. Oh, I'm not going to just play that and have it get static prisoned. I was thinking maybe it makes sense to play it so I can get a card and I'll be less scared about whatever this is, but okay. It definitely would have been bad to just cast it and have it be static prisoned for the next 3 turns. This doesn't have flash, right? It's such a good card, there's no way.
step ahead.
All right, round 8. I'm 5 and 2. I need to win this one and the last one. And we have Zerda as a companion. I have no idea what they got going on over there. Leave up Censor. Planning to cycle Lorien Revealed. And then next turn I will Inquisition them with Censor up. This is definitely... This is some form of combo deck? What? I don't even know. What is their hand? So this is it. This is a Goblin Charbelcher deck, I bet. I guess their hand is so bad, I just want to take Valakut Awakening. This doesn't do the same thing as Valakut Awakening. I guess the Prismatic commands kind of do the same thing as Valakut Awakening. Are they getting Zerda in their hand? I'm just going to Censor a Prismari command. Maybe I was supposed to take a Prismari command and then Censor the other one. Just leave them with Valakut Awakening? I don't know. Mostly I'm just hoping that they don't have a Charbelcher anywhere near the top of the deck. I think I'll be fine. Is there any way I'm going to Spell Snare anything out of the deck? Probably not. What's this card they just pitched? Found a Charbelcher. I did. Ow. Alright. We're going to be doing some sideboarding here. So, definitely want Negate, Dispute, Spell Pierce. Flusterstorm's not insane, but I think it's still good. Duress is good. Obviously, I want Disruptor Flute. Probably want the Frog and the Tameo. Surgical Extractions may be interesting. I guess there's also a possibility they're going to have some sort of sideboarding plan. kind of think that the kind of person that would play a Charbelcher deck's not going to be going that deep, though. Certainly, I do not want Stern Scolding. So I think I want that, and probably Spell Snare is bad. And I just want that. It's the only card I haven't. So Extraction could be good. Maybe over Ether Gust. Like if I can counter one Charbelcher or make them discard one, it's possible I can make it so the deck functionally can't, like, just ceases to be functional. Do I want Soul Guide Lantern? Probably not. I probably just want Ether Gust over that. How fast can their deck win? Is there any way they can win before turn 4? I guess they could have 2 mana rocks in their deck. And then they could win on turn 3. I think that's too slow, given what my hand is. Oh, that also enables a turn 3 win. They probably have Dominable Creativity in their deck. Hope I'm not dead. That wasn't that bad for me. Oh, they have Expressive Iteration. Maybe I do want Spell Snare in my deck. I crafted 4 copies of this card when it was released, because I thought it worked really differently than how it actually works. I thought it would be like a cool grindy value card, but it's not at all. I don't remember what I thought it did, but it was very different from what it actually does. I want to Impulse here because if I hit Thoughtseize or Duress, I would want to cast it. And I wanted to play Impulse over Soren's Ransom because Impulse leaves all like my 3 mana answers live, which would be Archmage's Charm, 3 steps ahead, and Snapcaster. I guess Snapcaster Inquisition isn't very good. This interaction with Psychic Frog is kind of annoying, where it's like it can live through 1 Galvanic Discharge, but if they just happen to have 2 Galvanic Discharges, they just don't pay. Well, I guess they can pay for the first one and the second one. I don't know. It just, I tried Psychic Frog as a main deck card, and I thought that it was too weak against white-red because of Galvanic Discharge. Just killing it too easily. Just take a random 2 cards and discard them both to Psychic Frog. And Psychic Frog will get to be my ring bearer. That'll be fun. That didn't work out that badly. Oh, and Spell Pierce is a nice one. I think I'm fine with letting them get the Seasoned Pyro out of their yard and chumping the frog for a few turns. The other choice would be to cling to dust right away and just rely on Spell Pierce to live. Maybe if I knew their exact deck list, I would make that play, but I think that this is probably safer. Seems like they have Mystical Dispute in their hand, probably. So now I have the choice. Do I want to go after Strike It Rich, or do I want to go after Pyro? I think I'll just go after... Wait, how fast can I kill them if I just go all in? This could deal... So let's say I draw a card, so I can have 3 more cards in my hand. This would deal 8 and 4. That's not enough. I'll just take Strike It Rich. I mean, taking Strike It Rich still leaves my options open, but I don't think I'm going to be going for the all-in kill them plan. Oh, that was a good draw. I have to imagine that they have Mystical Dispute in their hand. They probably have 4 copies in their sideboard. Alright, so they're probably bringing back Seasoned Pyromancer. I want to leave a Charbelcher in their graveyard in case I find my... what's it called? Surgical Extraction. I guess the other thing is that the Pyro can't even deal with the Psychic Frog all that well because I can just go to the air. That's what I'll be doing here. I want to go all in and just kill him. I think I should. Good job, Psychic Frog. So I saw Expressive Iteration. Is a Spell Snare target? Rusko seems quite poor. It's also Stern Scolding for Pyromancers. I think that Expressive Iteration is scarier than the Pyromancer just because it's cheaper, and also it's possible this can hit other things I haven't seen yet. I don't know about this hand. That's the potential to be good, but I have to
Is there a deeper meaning?
either top deck well or I just take a little bit of time for them to kill me. Come on, just play your 4th land and jam a Charbelcher. That's almost the same thing. Tap land? Can we get a tap land? So they could... Is Strike It Rich a sorcery or an instant? I have to look this up. Sorry about the typing. It is a sorcery. Okay. I was worried that they could Strike It Rich into a blue mana and Mystical Dispute my Jace. That is not how that card works. They don't have enough energons to galvanic discharge me to death. So I think I'm going to win. Maybe there's something I'm not thinking of. They did pay 3 life to get that card into play, which probably is just because they wanted to be able to galvanic discharge the Psychic Frog, potentially. Oh, they could have had Pact of Negation. That wouldn't. That doesn't help them. There's no scenario where Pact of Negation does anything, though, because they just die in their upkeep. I guess if they had... I think Manamorphose is available. Pact of Negation's a card I forgot was on Arena. It's been on Arena for a long time. I used to play it in Pact sometimes. I stopped doing it in part because I didn't think it was particularly good, but also it's just so annoying to have in your deck. Because you just keep getting priority. Alright, last match. Win or lose. And this is a very annoying hand for them to have. Guess I'm just taking this. Children's Edict not looking so good. Basically, I'm just not even going to be playing Edict. I'm going to... Cycling Fetid Pool, hoping to find a sweeper for turn 3 or turn 4. Because their hand's pretty bad. If I do find the sweeper. Guess I'm going to have enough time to... I'm going to 1. 1's not 0, but it does mean that I can't play Deluge. I could also very easily die to them just having something from Anthraptor. Oh, I don't like any of these cards, but they were starting to look familiar, and it's because those are the cards in my graveyard. Just want max digging. Oh, that was good. Oh no, it's not good. Because Luris lives. It has to be Deluge. Close. Sort of, I guess. There on a mulligan. I like that. Land do they have? They have a white land. I think I'll just take the Johnny. They probably don't have that many black lands in their deck. Things are starting to look up. No, they're not. Pretty well charged with Energons. Does this target? It does.
Love a good putt. This will come in handy.
Assume they're getting in a Johnny. beatdowns going on. Just gonna gain 3 life and thin my deck a little bit. I guess I'll take the Guide of Souls because it's the that's not much unique. Don't really want lands. Spell removal's also pretty bad. Maybe I don't want Thoughtseize. I think I'm going to be able to win from this spot. And if not, there's something really wrong with me.
There's always an answer.
Not perfect. We have peace.
No 1-drop. The versions of this deck with black in them are kind of grindier. It's a nightmare. That's a little scary. Do I want that? It's pretty good. I think I do want it. It's a little bit scary here that they can play an Ajani. Please don't hit Ajani. Tormod's Crypt. I accept. Is either person's graveyard? Target players. I think if they had a Johnny in their hand, they would have cast it last turn. I'm going to do this on my own graveyard to see if I can get them to burn the Tormod's Crypt, because if they burn the Tormod's Crypt, they're going to have 3 cards in their yard, and then I can drown in the Loch the Luris. Something I would be interested in. think I'm... Oh, no. I do need to... Thoughtseize. Because... I don't want them to crypt themselves to fizzle and drown in the Loch. I have no idea why they did that when they did. Man. That's frustrating. And I can counter a creature. Obviously, countering the Nightmare doesn't do anything because I know they have 2. Sure, you can take 2 damage. Luris. I don't think the game's going to last long enough that I'm going to get this prison back. Or that the prison's going to go away and I'm going to get my clock back. Certainly it's not going to last long enough. I'm going to get the clock back and it's going to wind back up. I think that's pretty safe to say. Oh, they're keeping Energons in case they draw Galvanic Discharge. Still in very good shape, obviously. Alright. That was quite a long run. So I made it. Got to 7 wins. So I get to play day 2. And that's going to conclude this video. Day 2 will probably be in a subsequent video. Thanks for watching if you made it this far. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.